Hey BookTube, it's Charlie from Reader Turned Writer, and today I am doing the Rapid Fire book tag. I was not tagged to do this video, I just have seen a ton of people doing it and it seems really fun, so I thought I'd give it a go. So first, ebook or physical book? Definitely physical. Well, so I would read them for different reasons. I love physical books because I love the experience of holding a book and having the book there and seeing your progress as you're reading it and seeing it on your shelf. But I also love the convenience of having the ebook on my phone so I can just read it wherever, and how cheap they are and everything. So there are things I like about ebooks, although I do prefer hardcovers. Paperback or hardback? Hardback every time. I feel like with paperbacks, they just look not new too fast and too easily. The spines break or they just get bent, and I think hardbacks stay nicer longer, and I also just think that they look nicer on the shelf. Online or in-store book buying? I love the experience of being in store for book buying. I love being surrounded by books, the smell of books, being able to look through the books and everything. It's one of my husband's and mine favorite dates to do, actually. However, I will say that buying online is a lot more convenient, especially since we live in a small town where there aren't really any real bookstores. There's Walmart, and then there's another bookstore that's kind of a bookstore, but it also sells a whole bunch of other stuff. And there's just not any bookstores close to us. We'd have to drive 2.5 hours to get to a bookstore, and so it's not worth it to go bookstore buying a lot of the time. And I also love online prices. Trilogies or series? I'd probably say trilogies. I do like when a book has more than one book in it, usually. When a book is part of a series, but having a trilogy just keeps it short enough that it doesn't go on and on and on forever. Heroes or villains? I definitely am a heroes person. A book that you want everybody to read? I would say Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Recommend an underrated book. For this I'm going to pick For Love of Ivy by Sarah Evans McLeod. I really like that author, and that book is one of the best books that I've come across, and it's kind of an older book. She writes really clean historical fiction, and I just haven't heard people really talk about her ever, and so I think that her books would be great reads, and For Love of Ivy is my favorite of hers that I've read so far. The last book that you finished was actually this random ebook on my phone called Broken. It was a Christian historical fiction that I got for free, and I gave it 3 stars. I didn't love it. The last book that you bought was actually The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I saw it at a local thrift shop, and it was not very much because it was at a thrift shop, so I bought it, and I actually haven't read it before and I want to, so I bought it. The weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark? I don't know. Maybe like a pen or scrap of paper that's nearby, but I don't feel like that's super weird. I have used bobby pins before. I used to use bobby pins in my hair all the time, so then when I was reading I'd just pull a bobby pin out and stick it in my book. Used books, yes or no? Yes. I also don't need them to be in perfect condition, just pretty good condition. And I also really like hardcovers, so unless I know that I can't get a hardcover of that book or series, then I will not buy it at a used bookstore. If I find it in paperback, I will only buy hardback. Top 3 favorite genres, I would say fantasy, classics, mystery, historical fiction, and romance, and all of those. I know that's kind of cheating because it's more than 3. Borrow or buy? Both. I used the library quite a bit when I was in high school, and as an adult I was using it less, but I've actually started using it a lot more now, and of course I use it for my kids all the time. But I still love buying books. I have a hard time buying books I haven't read before, which is part of why I borrow so many books, but I do love buying books. Characters or plot? I am definitely a character-driven reader. Long or short books? Both. I like both for different reasons. As long as they're good. It doesn't really matter if they're short or long, as long as they're well done. Long or short chapters? I prefer short chapters because I like to feel that I'm progressing in the book. It motivates me to read more. Name the first 3 books that you think of. Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson, The Secret Garden, and Harry Potter. That's kind of a hard question. Books that make you laugh or cry. I usually prefer books that make me cry. I actually really like books that make me emotional and elicit strong emotions in me, although there are some books that make me laugh that I love because they make me laugh, like the Alloy of Law series. Our world or fictional worlds? Generally our world, but there are times when I prefer the fictional worlds, I guess. Audiobooks, yes or no? Pretty much only with my husband. I don't tend to listen to audiobooks by myself that much, although I should. I just don't for some reason. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Let's be honest and just say yes and move on. Book to movie or book to TV adaptation? I'm going to say book to movie because I haven't ever seen a book to TV adaptation that I actually really liked. If you know of one, let me know in the comments below. A movie or TV show that you preferred to its book? This one is really hard. I'm just going to cheat a little and I'll say The Help or The Lord of the Rings. Not that I necessarily preferred those to their book, but I really enjoyed those as much as the books, which with both of them, I didn't think I would going into it. Series or standalones? I'm just going to say standalones simply because a lot of times with series, I actually don't finish the series, and I also think that most series go on too long. But there are some series that I really, really like, and I'm really glad that it's a series, because then you get more of it. And that's it. That's all the questions. I'm not going to tag anyone because I feel like I'm kind of late to the game and doing this tag way later than everybody else, so I have no idea who's done it. But if you haven't done it and you want to, consider yourself tagged. Thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.